I think it'd be pretty cool.
Welcome to AVP Huntington Beach Heritage Series. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle here, joining you on court number 1. It's Simo Van Winkle versus Klineman and Ross in a do-or-die match here in this double elimination bracket. Corinne, what an exciting match that is about to unfold in front of us. What can we expect to see?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think many people expected to see Klineman Ross into the elimination side this early on. But honestly, they're coming back from having kids, each of them. They're both phenomenal athletes, so I'm excited to see what they're going to bring. Savvy and Abby just played a game here on court 1. They're playing really well right now. I think it's going to be a really good game with some high-level volleyball.
Ross and Klineman have won AVP before. This is their 18th time playing on the AVP tour together as a team, 45th time overall. But it's Simo and Van Winkle that will go head-to-head to them here, with them here in this battle. On court number 1, total prize money for this Heritage Series is $150,000, equal payout for men and women. If you wanted a GA ticket, well, it's sold out all 3 days here in Huntington, but the good news is free admission for the outer courts, so get on down here to the north side of Huntington Beach Pier. Starting us off is Savvy Simo. Serving the sideline of Ross. Ross step closing. Picked up by Simo, taking a look. Read by Ross. Simo's there. High line again for Simo. Extending that long rally and being able to find success in transition.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's going to be huge. There's going to be a lot of rallies here, both great defenders. We know April Ross has shown it time and time again, but she is coming back again from having a child. So it's definitely hard conditions. This is their first tournament back together.
Ross on the pin, blocked at the net and then diverted off of the block touch is Van Winkle. Let's talk a little bit about court vision here and what it's like to be a blocker at the net, Corinne.
Yeah, I mean, Abby's going to have to keep moving, tracking that set. Everybody's got the ball control here, you know, and so she's going to have to be really, really disciplined on making April feel that pressure and making her make that error right there, you know, like making her feel her there and be aware of her block up there. And then that gives Savvy the opportunity to make some moves on defense.
Well said, Corinne. Alex taking this serve. Going high hands, twirling the block of Van Winkle is Alex Klineman, a decorated indoor athlete moving out to the sand. This is Klineman's 30th AVP event. She has won 12 times, all of those with Ross. Ross here with the serve. Van Winkle taking that seam ball high on the pin, and they'll find success out there.
It's hard to find that in-between ball between Klineman and Ross because Klineman is so big at the net there, and April is really good at finding and covering a lot of that backcourt. So really nice to find that split right between them.
Van Winkle here at the service line. Ross taking a look, high hands. Simo's there. On to is Klineman. Great lifted pass there from Alex Corinne. Let's talk a little bit about that option play here. We've seen a lot of it on the men and women's side. Why is it so beneficial?
Yeah, I mean, just giving the other team something to think about. I love that Alex and April are putting that into a lot of their game. Taking that option, Abby, either Alex is going to get the open net or April. You know, Abby has to stay really diligent, moving and tracking both of them. So I think if they keep that opening that up, that's going to be a really hard thing to stop, especially with Alex's height.
Bringing us to our first side switch here in the great game of beach volleyball. It's best 2 out of 3 sets, first 2 to 21, that third set to 15, and we switch on sevens. Corinne, why do we switch on sevens?
I mean, now that the sun is out shining here in the beautiful Huntington Beach, there's a lot of elements, like we said before. Alex and April have just moved on to the better side. Right now the wind's kind of coming off the ocean, but still this is the good side over on April and Alex's side. But it just gives those players an equal chance on both sides to deal and to use the elements for their benefit.
Van Winkle being able to side her team out there, bringing Simo to the service line. Simo, a Bruin alumna. Serving April on 2, blocked.
Nice
Picked
recovery.
up in transition, high hands off the block. Is Alex Klineman being able to track that up and over her shoulder?
Yeah, actually, both of these teams, I believe their last tournaments were gold medals. Alex and April in the Tokyo Olympics, incredible, and Abby and Savvy in the Norseka got a gold. So both of these teams, definitely, especially for Alex and April, no stranger to success and winning.
That's for sure. April Ross has won Huntington Beach 5 times, the most of any domestic location for the 3-time Olympian, and taken with it an ace serve.
And that's something that we're going to see. April is known for her serving. She gets a lot of points at the baseline, and it sets up their whole defense. So if April can really bring her serve, I think it's going to be a great match.
Bringing it indeed with this top spin. Van Winkle getting it through the block of Klineman, being able to have such a fast arm swing to beat it inside. Corinne, when you're going up against a big block like Klineman, standing at 6'5", has an Olympic gold under her belt, what is your mentality as an attacker?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to be aware. She's got great hands up there, and she is, you know, able to seal really, really well. But honestly, because she's so tall, sometimes you can sneak it by those low corners of her arms, but it is not easy. So that was a great move by Abby in that last play.
Absolutely, keeping it within 2 here for the teams, and Van Winkle with the serve. Looking for a cut shot, saw it, but wasn't able to get it up and over that net. Now a 3-point spread, bringing Van Winkle to the service line. Klineman and Ross looking for a first ball side out.
That set drifting just a little bit tight. That's a great move by April to go open over her. And Savvy saw it happening, but it was just too fast for her to get to. That was a really nice, smart play. What we can expect from Olympia and April Ross.
Side switch here, still only a 2-point spread in the first set. Plenty of ball game left. Klineman here at the end line. Also just having her baby boy.
I believe both of them are here today, all weekend long.
Klineman with the serve. Out of the middle is Van Winkle. Klineman being able to find it with a pole dig and then cutting it back in transition.
Yeah, and what a set by April too. That was perfectly lifted right into Alex's window. And Alex just getting a great hand contact on that to put it in front of Savvy.
There was almost a ball on the court, but play will resume. Van Winkle for a first ball side out, handling that service pressure to her service line very well. That set from Simo.
Yeah, and those serves are not easy to handle. Alex has such a great angle on it from her float serve that it's almost dropping on you and coming fast. So great reception by Abby.
And another point for Van Winkle and Simo. Van Winkle having a big presence up there at the net. On two.
Misses
Is
just
it out
wide.
Of bounds? The ball is ruled out of bounds.
Savvy and Abby right now hitting 600 as a team. That's pretty impressive right now, especially with such a big block and a great defender on the other side.
Yeah, it really is. They've been very consistent with that pass set. Oh, a chicken wing dig. Simo trying to find it, but still has a smile on her face, knowing she almost had that. But yeah, a testament to their hitting percentage as a team right now. 5 kills for Van Winkle, 1 for Simo. Looking to sustain that as the ball game continues with Ross at the service line.
You know, and I've said it before, a lot of teams let this first part of the game develop. So just because they're down now doesn't mean that they're not gathering information and finding the way to work and to decide their game plan for the rest of the match.
Exactly, being able to adjust and adapt in real time. All qualities of high-level athletes, all 4 competing here on court number 1. Van Winkle here at the service line. Pass handled by Ross. Ross carving up that block and going high hands, taking us to our technical timeout here in set number 1. Corinne, let's touch a little bit on the new expansion of the AVP and the league that will be happening in the fall. Well, the first 2 events are the Heritage Series and the Contender Series. So Huntington Beach being stop number 1 of the Heritage. Manhattan Beach and Chicago will follow. All of those are double elimination formats. If you win one of those, you are qualified and eligible for the league. So you automatically qualify as an athlete in the league. Next is the Contender events, which are Denver, Wapaka, and Virginia Beach. All feature 2-day qualifiers with pool play followed by single elimination playoffs. 40K total prize money per event there. And then it brings us into our AVP League, which we are very, very excited about. Corinne, the team structure, there's 8 teams: Austin, Brooklyn, Dallas, LA, Miami, New York, Palm Beach, San Diego. What does it mean in your perspective to be able to have athletes competing in these different regions of America?
Well, just beach volleyball in itself is growing so much all around the U.S. and women's sports and men's sports. But I think it's going to be amazing for the athletes. I know that they're really excited about it, and it's what everybody's gunning for. That's why every single finish here at Huntington, Manhattan, Chicago, all these finishes count so much because everybody wants to be playing in that AVP league later in the year. So each one of these finishes is gathering points to qualify for that, or if they win it, they're automatically in. So everybody's gunning for a spot.
A total of 9 AVP League events, 8 regular season and 1 championship.
And lines are good for Abby there. I mean, just tagging it on the way out. That was beautiful.
Yes, tagging the lines indeed. And at this level, Corinne, let's touch a little bit on athletes train that. You're trying to hit that back foot of the court or foot from the sideline. You'll put cones out there in practice to do it.
Yeah, we'll sometimes draw a line at the perimeter of the court, and it won't count unless it's in there. So definitely aiming to expand, make that defender run. But at the end of the day also, it just has to be good enough. It has to be in the open spot. So we want to be able to have the ball control to put it where we want, but court vision is always gonna win as well.
And that vision from Savvy Simo on that jumbo pokey, bringing her to that service line. Service pressure on Ross, who finds a way for a first ball side out.
And that deep angle swing is so hard to defend for both the blocker and defender. I mean, it's coming kind of right at your head, but it is still perfectly in that corner. Beautiful swing by April.
You'd think she did it once or twice.
Just a few times.
Ross here with the serve.
I love her attacking that chop spin from the good side on that.
Chase down. Will it go? It will not, but what a block touch from Alex. April being able to get that second contact, but now a 5-point lead for Van Winkle and Simo. Huntington Beach is the host of the season opener. We welcome you all. Huntington Beach, the 5th time it has been the season opener for the AVP, ties Fort Lauderdale for the most of any one city. Van Winkle here with the serve. Tight set.
A great
tool out of bounds. Now, we had a conversation earlier with a few of the refs. What is the difference between a tool and a joust? And they said, well, if the joust, you both are going for it and you contact it at the same time, whoever side the ball lands on, that's the point.
Interesting, yeah.
Which I contested. I said, well, if it's the second contact didn't, I push it into them and it's out of bounds. And I digress.
I guess that would deem it as more of a block if you if somebody holds on to it slightly longer, but at the same time, it's up to the ref's discretion.
Pass by April on the pin, painting high line, a textbook swing from April. Great hand to ball contact there.
Now I want to point out Abby and Savvy have been doing a fantastic job. I mean, they have no errors so far in this set and hitting 714 currently. I mean, that is really, really impressive against such a decorated and highly skilled team. I mean, best in the world, arguably. This is their first tournament back, but, you know, it's hard to play your idols sometimes, and we all know that everybody's been watching April and Alex.
Ross with the serve. Going short, Simo's there. Taking a look, read by April. In transition, blocked, covered, blocked again at the net is Van Winkle, not once, but twice in a row in one rally.
Incredible footwork by her, and they take the timeout. Good to stop that momentum there, but Abby doing great work at the net. I mean, just super, super steady there.
Great work from Abby taking away that space. Speaking of high-level competition and athletes, in this weekend's AVP tournament features 15 athletes who participated in an Olympics game, whether indoors or beach. Players representing 3 different countries here on the north side of the HB Pier. So just a testament, we had the qualification battling through. It was Wilcox and Berkey still alive on the men's side, going into that next round. And
speaking of qualifier teams, we forget that Abby and Savvy actually had to come through the qualifier in this game.
That's true.
I mean, we do see them probably as a main draw team eventually. I know that they'll work their way up there, but Abby's coming out of college and hasn't played as much on the AVP tour, but they will get there, in my opinion. But yeah, they went flawless through the qualifier in this event, and now they're making their way into this Saturday's Survival Saturday.
They sure did. It was a great qualification from that team. They're able to defeat Kennedy, Coakley, and Brooke Sweat in 2 to then go ahead and qualify here in Huntington Beach.
Brooke Sweat being another Olympian in Rio. And Kennedy, actually a high schooler.
Pretty cool.
Great high contact there by Alex.
Exactly, Alex being able to get that great hand-to-ball contact going up over that block, looking to push points here at the service line. Alex with the serve. Simo with the set, blocked. Onto action, and it'll go. Another onto play from Savvy and Van Winkle.
I love that tempo from Abby and Savvy. It is hard as a blocker to have to move and get there. And honestly, Alex was there just a little late maybe with her hands, but she was all over that ball, but Savvy just sped it up right through.
April taking a look. A swing, scooped up by Savvy. Free ball. April takes a look. Alex takes a look and finds a cut. It seems to me that Savvy read it. It just falls so fast with that angle that Alex is able to attack from. Standing at 6'5", it's just that sharp angles inside the block.
Yeah, and definitely hard to control with that one arm diving to her great, great cut shot.
Ross here with the serve.
Keeping the top spin on this side.
In system for Savvy. Deep corner. Unbelievable.
The jumbo
it does
pokey.
not get any perfect than that. The jumbo pokey again. The San Diego native, Savvy Simo. An all-you-can-eat buffet there with jumbo shrimp. Seam pass. Alex cut shot, and it'll fall again. Seems that gravity falls a bit faster on those cut shots when you contact it from such a high point out there.
Definitely, it's hard because Alex does contact the ball so high, and with that set being in such a good location, you can't really cheat up as a defender there. So Alex has that ball right behind the blocker, and obviously Abby can't pull on that ball. It's a perfect set, so really smart play by Alex.
Taking a rip, it's out of bounds. Side switch. It'll be 16 serving 19.
And that's their first error of the match, actually. But I love that swing. I like that deep aggressive ball. That's the right location, in my opinion. I think that she's going for the right spot there.
Yeah, I think so too, and it's always that give and take, right? That green light. Are you able to do, you know, a higher percentage of ace per error at the service line? Alex with the serve. Van Winkle taking a look. April's there. Out of bounds. It will go, and with that, a timeout from Simo and Van Winkle. Corinne, right now, what do you do when it's within a 2-point ball game?
Again, I think you keep it simple. I like that Savvy and Abby are trying to move that ball around, but maybe too much. I mean, it did cause the pull from Alex, but still you want to be able to keep it simple, not cause too much worry on your side. I think that they're doing really well right now, though, Abby and Savvy, so I don't mind them taking those chances, but definitely keeping it simple and keeping their head on. We need one side out right here. Take that 20, and then it becomes a lot easier to finish.
Right, earning those 2 points on your side of the net. Still anybody's ball game here, and only the first set. It is do or die on court number 1. I'm Victoria Dennis, joining you alongside Corinne Quiggle, having so much fun in the sun. It started out with a little bit of May Gray, but now that sun is shining through here for the first stop of the AVP season with one of our Heritage Series. The wind not a factor earlier this morning, but now kicking up to 10 miles an hour. Nothing that Southern California residents aren't used to seeing. With the athletes back out on the court, Alex will start us off with a serve. Going short, Van Winkle's there. Angle it goes, and bringing us to our first possible set point.
Good smooth set out for them. Good control and good composure.
Ross jousting. Is it there? Picked up. It'll go.
Was that going to be in? I don't know.
Alex picked up over again with a finesse shot and dropping. I mean, what a scramble play. The fans clapping it up for that rally, cheering all 4 of these athletes on here on court number 1. What a rally.
You know, I like that Alex took it. I mean, you would hate to let that ball go and have it drop in. So I like that aggression from Alex. I think that they're going to need that a lot going into the second set. I want April to go for it, you know, and I want her to find her momentum on her serve.
Van Winkle taking that seam ball, running behind, dug up by Alex. And first set going to Simo and Van Winkle, 21-18. The fans heavily involved here on court number 1, having some good fun. Corinne, what'd you see out there?
I think that Abby and Savvy had great composure throughout this first set. I mean, I said it before, it is hard to play your idols sometimes with that emotional side, but I think that they've put the blinders on, they're just playing volleyball, and they're doing a great job at it. Not a lot of errors from their side. I think maybe only 2 errors from Savvy and Abby, which is a very high level. They were putting the ball away well and dealing with that nice, great big blocker from Alex and great defender in April Ross. So I think they did a great job. Alex and April, I think that they'll start finding their rhythm in the second set. I know they're we all know that they're a great team and they have a lot in them. I think if they can find their defensive rhythm, because that's what they are known so much for, I think. I mean, they're steady side out players, but again, they crush on defense. So let's see if they can pick up that side of their game on this set and take it to 3.
Well said. It was the unforced errors, 6 for Klineman and Ross, and only 2 for Simo and Van Winkle. But even with that, Ross and Klineman being able to claw back here in the first set, and we know it's still anybody's ball game when the reigning gold medal champions are out there on the court. Both now proud mamas and having their debut here in Huntington Beach. It is a sold-out stadium here Saturday and Sunday, but still free admissions around the courts, outer courts.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Savvy and Abby respond to this game. I mean, they won that first one. Can they keep up that composure? Or are they going to get too excited and maybe get ahead of themselves, start trying to push those fancier, quicker plays? Now, if it's working for them, great. I know that they can do it. But I also like to see them staying steady and composed throughout this whole set, this whole match.
At least one Olympian, beach or indoors, has been on the winning team in Huntington Beach in all but 7 of the men's domestic events here, while 23 of the 26 women's tournament winners in Huntington have included at least one Olympian. High line, speaking of Olympians, is April Ross.
3-time Olympian and holds a medal of each color. So impressive.
Why not?
I know.
April at the service line. Ross standing at 6'1". Van Winkle taking a rip with authority for a first ball side out. Corinne, you said it. Van Winkle and Simo have that tunnel vision right now. They're just taking care of their side and truly just taking it 1 point at a time. Van Winkle with the serve. Ross taking a look. Pokey dig. In transition is Simo with nobody up, putting it away with authority herself.
I love their aggression right now, both Savvy and Abby taking big swings and big moments. So really, really impressive. Let's keep that.
Some glasses being cleaned off there from Ross. Van Winkle here at the service line.
Alex and April switching sides, maybe to get a little different look on service eve.
Van Winkle with the float. On two is Alex, but read by Simo. And it can't be controlled in transition. Simo being able to put that one away. Simo having an unreal game defensively, leading all 4 players, and Diggs on the court with 8, followed by Ross with 5. Van Winkle with the serve. Getting a little love from that let serve is Van Winkle.
You love it when it's on your side. You hate it when it's on the receiving side, you know?
Either your best friend or worst enemy, and right now I'd say Van Winkle will put it in their top best friends there on MySpace. TBT. April. Blocked at the net by Van Winkle. Being able to jump into that seam and just take that space.
What great footwork by Abby. Showing her in the angle, taking that slide in, or showing her in the line, taking that slide into the angle and then shutting it down. April saw it, and I think she tried to beat her there, but Abby with great hands at the net.
Serving down the line at Ross. Ross in transition, finding the court.
Splits him right in the middle.
Right down that middle, Van Winkle with that last block. Graduated from UCLA, standing at 6'2", out of San Clemente, California.
And both of them national champions, so really impressive team with Abby and Savvy. Also taking the switch at 5-2. I like that if I'm them and I'm won the first set up 5-2. Now to keep that intention going throughout the rest of the match.
Van Winkle behind. Looking for down the line, going just a bit long. Looked like she might have caught that ball on the underside. Alex at the service line here. Corinne, if you're Alex and April, what are you doing from the service line?
I mean, I definitely want to capitalize on this good side. You know, wind's blowing in their face. They want to have that ball dropping. What a great serve down the middle. I think Alex did just that. They might look to pull a little bit more. And honestly, so April and Alex are getting a lot of great touches, but they're just not converting them into points. They're getting the digs, sometimes getting to the set, but I think that those touches will come. Again, this is their first tournament back. We all know, I mean, their vision is incredible. They're seeing it, they're getting the touches. It'll just take some time to really convert those into points.
On two, blocked at the net. Drawing up their plan of action and executing. Simo knowing that they want to go for that option play and then defending it.
Yeah, Abby being super disciplined, watching out, using that eye work to watch Alex come in for the option.
Simo following that ball all the way out, convincing it that indeed it is out of bounds. Sometimes you got to convince it, Corinne.
Yeah, blow it out if you need to, you know, if you're close enough. But
exactly. Side switch. Timeout taken on the court. Pardon me. Timeout.
I think it's a good timeout for them. Down 8-3. Yeah, I think, again, they're getting good touches. It's not necessarily that part of it. I think they just will need to find their rhythm. It's still early in this second set, but they do not want to let this second set get too much further away from them.
Van Winkle and Simo as a team batting .536. The A team, Klineman and Ross at .205. So Simo and Van Winkle really being able to stay steady in their offense. Simo batting 600, Van Winkle 500. Only 3 attack errors between the two of them, so they've stayed pretty steady, but it's 8 digs from Simo, 5 blocks from Van Winkle, the only athlete on the board with blocks, and she has 5 to her name.
Yeah, she's been doing a great job getting in front of the hitter, getting her hands up there early, and honestly, they're not easy to block. You know, she's doing a very disciplined job at the net.
She sure is reading that attacker and executing so well. How she's able to do that, well, it's also from the serve of Savvy Simo. The serve almost being an assist for those overpasses and blocks.
Definitely. It all starts with the serve. That's the one thing in beach volleyball or in volleyball alone that you have total control over, is the one serve.
April Ross here at the service line. April with 5 digs on the ball game. Topspin serve. Off the top of the tape, Van Winkle almost there, but it's an ace serve for April Ross, bringing her to 2 aces here. An aggressive server internationally and nationally on the AVP.
Voted best server of the year multiple years in a row. I think until last year, Betsy took it.
Van Winkle with a pass. Blocked by Klineman. And nobody up, and Simo taking advantage of that seam. Side switch.
You know, with how aggressive Abby and Savvy are being at the net on offense, I would love to see Alex staying a little bit more. I mean, I know that can open up those shorter shots around her, but you know, she doesn't have any blocks right now, and that's a big part of their game. She is such a presence at the net, and you know, it's huge. And so giving that opening maybe to Abby and Savvy is giving them some confidence.
Well said, Corinne. With Van Winkle here. Oh, doing a oopsie toss. All you can do is just laugh that one off.
For sure. Yeah, that one you just want to try your hardest to get over and forget about.
Yeah. It even happens at the professional level for those juniors watching.
Yeah, and you cannot retoss, so she had to go for it as soon as that toss left her hands.
Yes, good point. In tennis, we're able to see a retoss, but not in beach volleyball. You got to commit.
Mm-hmm. So wherever that toss goes,
you go.
Exactly.
Simo here with the serve. 4-point spread. Alex trying to get there, not finding it.
Just a little out of body for that. That's a tough one to get over.
Looking for a first ball side out. With Simo at the end line. The crowd well packed in around here on court number 1. Applauding as the A team found that side out. Bringing Ross to the service line.
That's something we know so much about April Ross. I mean, she's dominating that angle swing. She has that dominating angle swing, and then that opens up her angle. So I think if she can keep establishing that angle, then she's going to get her high lines back, her cuts, and her short over the blocks.
Van Winkle with the pass. High line, read by April. April in transition will find it with line action of her own in response. Looking to chip away here at the service line. Some A-team fans in the house.
I love that swing from off of the net. I mean, beautiful, sharp. It's got downward trajectory. That is a tough ball for Abby to dig. More of that.
April with a serve. Van Winkle taking a look. Read by Ross, but it's gonna go wide. Good set there from Savvy. Corinne, let's touch a little bit on setting and serve receive. What are a couple things that our junior athletes tuning in here, what are a couple takeaways that they can learn?
Well, I think something that you can see here too is Abby and Savvy are more, I mean, they're newer, as in they just graduated, and they hand set a lot more. April and Alex, experienced, you know, well decorated, top of the game, top of the world even, and they do a lot more bump setting. So people do a lot of different things, but setting is one of the most important elements. I mean, if you can put your hitter into a good position every single time, your hitter's going to have options. And as a hitter, you always want to play with a great setter, you know? It just makes everything so easy. So it is really important, and I think the game is changing with the fast tempo sets and the moving the ball around, the faking onto. I think that's something that Alex and April can do a lot because they do have that onto weapon. But, you know, you can see if it doesn't go on to there, then they're probably going to bump set it and move the ball around.
6 weekends ahead before the next AVP tournament continues, with the Contenders Series next up in Denver over the 4th of July weekend. 6 long weekends for these athletes to sit and twiddle their thumbs in anticipation, or hit the sand and train.
I can guarantee you they're going to be watching back a lot of these videos and finding the places where they think that they can get better or where they can open up their games. I mean, that is what every athlete wants to use these 6 weeks for. It's hard because the last 2 events of the Heritage Series will be after the Olympics, so that is quite some time for the people not playing internationally. You know, they have a lot of time to wait and improve on their games, but honestly, all these players want to compete, you know? All of them want to compete. So you'll see a lot of those athletes in this, in Denver and Wapaka as well.
And Virginia out there on the contender side, racking up all those points. Seam serve taken by Simo. April's there. Taking a look, no one, and Payne in that sideline going thumbs down on that attack, bringing the A-team within 2 points.
And we talked about setting just recently. That was a perfect transition set. Set April up to have so many options, just far enough off that Abby had the option to pull, and then gave April the court. That was a beautiful, beautiful defensive setup right there.
Klineman with the serve. Taken by Simo, going behind. Blocked. Free ball sent. Alex in transition with the set. Savvy's there. And placement, not power by Savvy. Simo carving it up on the court. It is Savvy's serve at the end line. Savvy competing for Team USA as well in the pipeline, as well as her partner Van Winkle. A short serve that had everyone holding their breath and now cheering.
Beautiful serve by her. I like moving them a lot on serve receive. I think that's going to be, I mean, they've been doing it throughout the game, but that was especially showing, you know, that to be able to move them and get them out of rhythm, that's huge.
Savvy playing chess with her serve. April line and tagging it. Looking to push a couple points here in transition. $150,000 in prize money here for the first stop of the season, part of the Heritage Series. Ross with the serve. Putting the pressure on Van Winkle, who is roofed at the net by Alex Klineman, giving her first block of the ball game.
And that's what I wanted to see. I know both Abby and Sabby are very aggressive players, and I want Alex to get involved. That is her bread and butter right there. Beautiful block.
April with the serve. Putting the pressure on Van Winkle. Van Winkle doubling down with that angle shot, finding the inside of the block of Klineman. Bringing her back to the service line, a 2-time All-American Bruin. Was a part of the NCAA Championship All-Tournament team, 3 years. Inside the block, it'll go and down. The A-team finding a little bit of momentum here, Corinne.
Yeah, I mean, being down, I think it was 14-11, maybe even 14-10, and then getting the 13-15 switch. That's a great switch for April and Alex. You know, you're wanting to win every single one of these side switches. It's almost like mini games within the game, you know, and so them taking that mini game right there is huge and maybe can flip the momentum.
A game of momentum indeed. We see it on the indoor side, we see it on the sand as well. Back set. Oh, looking for the sideline, but it is out of bounds.
It's a great follow by April. She was all over that, all the way to the line, and then got out of the way.
One thing we tell our juniors players, follow that ball to the sideline, please.
Exactly.
Pass by Van Winkle, going behind. High line into that coffin corner where the wind is blowing onto the court, and it's going to fall.
Yeah, I like that as a bailout more than the other side because of that wind coming from that side. I mean, the wind's coming from the ocean on that way. That's the perfect side to make that shot.
Ross out of the middle, covered. Over again, picked up by Savvy. Great hustle from Van Winkle. Going into the splash zone. Fans applauding that defensive effort.
And I mean, when you're playing the reigning Olympic champions, you're gonna go for everything. I love that from Abby. Way to stay with it.
April not needing to jump on that shot, just perfectly placing it there in the corner. Now with the serve. On Van Winkle, tight pass. But creeping inside the block and into the angle to uphold their 2-point lead.
Yeah, and that was a big point there, either to tie it up or to go back in the lead. So good, smooth movements by Abby.
If you're just tuning in, welcome. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle here on court number 1, Saturday and Sunday. Rob on the mic as well. Up and over the block. And finding the point. A 1-point ball game as the A team continues to chip away.
You can't teach height there. She has just got an amazing reach.
Klineman with the float, handled by Simo. On the pin, high line, and it'll go. Simo keeping that hand out in front of her, challenging the block of Klineman.
Yeah, great composure by Savvy there. That was another one, another big point, as will this one. If they can get this 18-17 switch for Klineman Ross, I think that puts them onto the good side. And you know, with the ability to serve into the wind, that's going to be a good opportunity. But if Savvy and Abby can get this 19-16 switch, you know, I think that helps them moving on to the bad side.
Klineman taking that pass, blocked. In transition, oh, the Cobra from April Ross. Going over that block of Van Winkle. A rare attack choice is the old Cobra.
I love the Cobra. That's fantastic. And a great cover by April. Great reaction on that. That is a big one, you know. This is now she has her topspin serve, 17-18 into the wind, and we will see what happens from here.
A Cobra being a straight hand, like you're high-fiving, all your fingers are really tight together, and then you hit it with your fingertips. Ross here with the serve. Putting the pressure on Simo. Attacking on the pin. A one-handed dig from Ross. Looking for the court in transition, but it's just long.
I think a rare error from April there. What a great turn on that jumbo attempt. And April and Alex with the great set, it set them up for a great opportunity and just long in the backcourt. I love that chance.
Bringing Van Winkle here with the serve. Going just a bit wide as she continues to apply that service pressure. It's Klineman now trying to push points at the service line.
Another big opportunity here.
second time's charm won't go. Ross, Simo's there. And it'll go down. The crowd applauding all around court number 1 and up in VIP, who have walked over to see the end of this ball game, or maybe just halfway through, just over halfway if it gets pushed to a third. But thank you for everyone tuning in here on the YouTube stream. It's exciting to have our international fans be able to tune in here and watch along all weekend. Big shout out to our production team here at the AVP for making all of this happen, bringing this high level quality beach volleyball to Huntington Beach, California.
Definitely, and the fans have definitely showed up. I mean, it is a beautiful day and there is some great volleyball. I mean, how often do you get to watch Olympians, gold medalist Olympians in your backyard? Or, you know, some people travel to come here to watch this. I mean, it's a perfect weekend for it.
They sure do. I love interacting with the fans and talking to them who fly in for the AVP events that have been waiting all year to be a part of it. Hopefully they got their GA tickets, as general admission for stadium court is sold out all 3 days, as we mentioned earlier. But these outer courts, they are on and popping. And here we go as set number 2 continues underway. The fans on the edge of their beach chairs, or standing on their toes here to see what will happen in the second set with Alex Klineman at the service line.
Again, Alex and April are so good at defense, so this is a good position. Usually the advantage is with the side-out team, but
Pokey over on 2, and just like that, the first lead of the ball game for the A team, and they'll find it with a set point. First ball side out if you're rooting for Simo and Van Winkle. Van Winkle with the pass. Klineman's there. Is it an overpass? No.
a little wide.
Simo. Alex is there. Free ball sent. Simo. Over on 1 is April Ross, showing us that gold mental mentality and court vision, sending us into overtime here in set number 3. It is do or die here at AVP Huntington Beach.
And what can we expect from the Tokyo Olympians? I mean, gold medalists, they had that composure all the way down until 19, right? I mean, that's just incredible. Great digs. I mean, April's touches, it won't go, you know? She just had great layouts. The calmness in her digs is just so impressive. Yeah, really phenomenal finish by the A team there.
Very impressive. And to touch on the calm factor of playing high-level athletics, it's not something that you can just rep out and speed up in your journey as an athlete. That's something that comes with exposure and having that veteran mentality, being able to come out here time and time again and copy and paste the same thing every time.
Yeah, exactly. They have that experience and they played on the biggest stage in the world. So really incredible to watch them here doing what we know that they can do. That's incredible.
The chat is having some fun here on YouTube. Let's throw it over to the chat here. If you're tuning in and watching this game, who do you think will take it in 3? We'll shout you out here on the stream. Will it go to Simo Van Winkle, or will the A team continue on here?
Want to point out that April in that second set just brought up their defense. I mean, she has now 14 digs to Savvy's 12, and Savvy was leading in that first set. So really picking it up on the defense side.
Big time.
Impressive.
You read my mind, Corinne, there on that defensive side. And The third set is underway here on court number 1. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle. What fun we are having with you here on this now bright sunny day in beautiful Huntington Beach, California for the first stop of the 2024 tour. And nonetheless, a battle on court number 1 as April Ross, defending Olympic champion, takes the service line. Van Winkle with the serve. Attack, pardon me, and going just a bit long. Looking over here at the chat, a lot of A-team love. Rooting them on here. Any Bruin fans in the chat wanting to see Simo and Van Winkle, I'm curious. But a lot of love for the A-team. Serving that sideline and finding success with it. All gas, no brakes from April Ross.
Yeah, phenomenal start in this third set from them. I mean, again, they didn't have the lead in both of the other ones until the end, and now to start off hot like this, I think we have some high expectations for this set to be good.
An ace serve down the middle for April Ross, going back and taking control of that service line.
I mean, she has been voted best server of the year for a reason, and we're seeing it here. And another ace! Oh my gosh. They've switched sides to try to give her a different look, but no, they get 2 aces back to back off of that.
Making that 5 aces now for April Ross on the ball game, and 4-0 start for the A-team. Still plenty of ball game left. As we know, it's a shorter set, played to 15. We switch on 5s. Corinne, here in the third set of a high-level ball game like this, what is one thing that you want to focus on your side of the net?
I mean, I think it comes down to serving and passing. I love the aggressive serves that April's come out with. I knew that we would see that later into the game, even though the beginning of the match was a little bit slower, but I know that their defense is like such a key point in their game, and here we're getting to see the power of the serve, the power of the block, and the power of, you know, being a good defender in that backcourt. So I'd say keeping it simple. You know, there's been some confusion on Savvy and Abby's side, it looks like, on who's taking the middle, especially when they switch sides. So really being aggressive and talking about that middle.
Absolutely, talking about that seam in serve receive is huge, especially when you have somebody that's been voted best server in the world at the end line. Ross with the serve. Off the tape, Van Winkle's there, scramble play. It'll be put down by the A-team. A 5-0 switch.
A flawless start for them, you know. 5-0, that's an incredible switch, and especially in a third set when this game is quick to 15. So great start from them. Let's see if they can keep it up on this bad side.
Corinne getting a little love in the chat as well.
I can't see the chat.
Ross with the serve. Van Winkle is there. High hands. Using the block of Klineman is Van Winkle. A big push here at the service line from Savvy Simo, a Bruin alumna herself out of Rancho Santa Fe, California. Ross with the attack. Block touch, has to go. In transition. Blocked at the net is Van Winkle, just dominating the top of that tape. Van Winkle has been locked in on her blocks all game long, now with 6 on the ball game.
And that's a
Cut shot,
three-point
keeping them alive. A 3-point run for Simo and Van Winkle.
Both teams taking care of the good side right now. Let's see if April and Alex can stop this, or if Abby and Savvy can take this, just like April and Alex did on this side.
Right now, Corinne, what is the good side and what makes it the good side?
Well, right now the wind, I think it's picked up quite a bit from the earlier games in the day, but Savvy and Abby currently having the wind in their face would help the ball drop in their favor, so that making it the good side. Unfortunately, Savvy missing that, but a great run for them, 3-0, now 3-1, with Alex going back to serve.
Klineman here with the float. Van Winkle with the pass. A block at the net for Alex Klineman, making that her second of the ball game. And with that, bringing us to a side switch. But Simo and Van Winkle being able to go on the good side and earn 3 points.
Yeah, a good switch. Again, they won that side. They won those 5 points. So I think they'll be happy with that switch. Now they want to coast on this side. They don't want to let it get too far away from them. Great cover by Savvy.
Blocked again. Pokey up and over. Talk about grit and attitude. Savvy Simo getting in there, covering her side of the net. A little chicken wing action there, but she is just locked in on defense. 13 digs for her.
Yeah, nothing is going down without a fight. Honestly, I think the most things that have gone down have been missed serves so far. Everything has been a dogfight on defense. Everyone's getting good touches, covering really well. So it's definitely hard to get a ball down on either one of them.
A dogfight indeed in the trenches of Huntington Beach, with Ross at the service line. Pass handled by Simo, but it's Alex Klineman clamping down at the net. Another block to her name.
We knew she would get going soon. You know, she is just such a big presence, a great presence on the net. I mean, it is not easy to get it past her.
Simo with the pass. Looking to carve it up inside, and she sure does. Great court vision there from Simo. Simo standing at 5'9". Grew up playing indoor and beach volleyball in San Diego. In-system pass from April. Blocked, but it'll go over on one from Klineman.
That's a great switch from them. 10-5, I believe. Really good lead in this third set.
A lead indeed, and their most drastic lead all match long. It was Simo and Van Winkle with a huge lead in the first set, then taking the first set, also a 3-4 point lead in the second. But then Klineman and Ross, veterans, they are able to close it in and find themselves with a 5-point lead here in the third. Straight down block.
And Alex is really getting going now. She is just making such great moves on the block right now. I mean, everything is super steady. It is very hard right now to get past her.
High-level athletes making high-level plays, and that's Klineman. Running behind Van Winkle. Ross in transition, picked up by Simo. Simo looking for the line of her own, but just going a bit wide. That's the right attack there from Simo. I love her going for that line. It's an aggressive error, Corinne, but something that we do encourage.
Yes, I definitely like that. It's hard to put a ball away, and so they're going to push for the sidelines. And I think Savvy needed to go for that, and some days you're going to hit it, some days you're not.
And hit it indeed is an ace serve from April.
Yeah, Alex is serving phenomenally right now. Her float is just, again, I talked about that angle. We can see it really well from the side of the court here, but it is a bullet that is going down. She gets to get on top of that ball from her serve, and it is not an easy ball to pass.
Yes, that hand-to-ball contact, thank you from Alex, is very high. So this serve, given the height of the net and her hand-to-ball contact, is at a downward trajectory to the passers. Wiping some sand off the glasses here from Van Winkle, and the A team with the service opportunity. Read by April. In transition is Simo. She carves it up inside, and she'll find the sand. What defensive moves from everyone. The fans absolutely loving this.
Again, April's ability to be so steady on those one-handed digs is not easy. There are so many variables there, and for her to be able to be calm and just straight out with her arm and have so much control with that, it's the reason why she has so many medals, you know?
The fans packed all around. Off the top of the tape is Van Winkle, and they'll take that with a side switch. An ace with it, but fans on the Huntington Beach Pier peering in here to court number 1.
Put it together right here.
VIP there on the back side of Stadium Court, lining up all the way down the railing to watch this game.
Love that
Overpass, over on 2 to bring us to match point for the A team.
And Alex, that's a great ability from Alex to be able to take that pass, because that was a great serve from Abby, very fast. April's pass was a little fast and tight, but Alex was able to get there and make something great with it.
Match point opportunity for the A team. Ross with the serve. Van Winkle. Ross is there. Simo with a flipper dig. Oh, down the line, and with it, the point and ball game going to the A team, clawing their way back, point for point in the face of adversity. What a ball game from Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle, going toe-to-toe with the reigning gold medalists.
Yeah, really, Savvy and Abby played phenomenally this whole game. I mean, they were steady from the first set. Eventually it's hard. Alex and April just started making great plays, but I think everybody played great here. We did not have a high error game. This was a very difficult game to put balls away, and I think both defenders and both blockers did some great work.
Great work indeed as the A team stays alive here for the Heritage Series AVP Huntington Beach. Make sure to stick around as more action will be underway. Until then, I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle. We'll see you in the next game.